Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be having a first look and my initial impressions regarding this new smartphone from Motorola that's known as the Motorola Edge70. And this is the smartphone that I have, and you'll notice this is actually pretty slim. This is basically trying to capture that slim phone like the iPhone Air or the Samsung Edge or something like that. But again, I feel the biggest trump card of this one is that though it's slim, and in fact in terms of weight it's even lighter than the iPhone Air, this does not cost a bomb. And yes, this does have a stereo speakers and a proper camera setup. So let's have a look at this one. This is the iPhone Air. I'll pick that also later on and give you an idea. So this is the device itself. We'll come back to this later. Let me quickly just show you what comes inside the box. Where we get the phone itself. Of course, I've taken that out. Also, you get a charger and it's supporting that 68 watt charging. But the good thing is that it is type C charging. So this is actually a PD charger, so you can even charge your laptops, etc. And a USB type C cable that you're getting. Unfortunately, we don't get any case bundled in this one. But again, that's okay because the back is not glass, but this textured finish, and it actually gives a good grip. Again, if you notice, first let's talk about the design, then I'll talk about the other aspects of this device. And if you notice from the back, this is now this camera layout is now this is metallic, and also we have a color accent. It's different. This is that what do you say, Pantone bronze green color, and we have this golden rings also. Based on the color, there are three different colors. This is a contrast that will change the camera rings that we have, and also this button. So again, very slim. In terms of slimness, this is just 5.9 mm. Again, if you look at some other traditional phones, this is the Pixel 10 Pro XL, this is the Pixel 10. Again, as you can see, these feel a lot more chunkier. This is just 5.9 mm, so again feels very light to hold. And again, I like the fact that it's actually pretty light. It just weighs 159 grams, but it hasn't compromised on a lot of things. In fact, if I recall, this is the iPhone Air, and this is also very slim. But in terms of weight, the iPhone Air is heavier than this one. This is actually 165 grams. But again, it skips a lot of things. We don't have multiple cameras. Here we have a proper, what do you say, main camera, and also ultra wide with macro that we are having. And the biggest thing is that the battery on this one is still a 5000 milliamp hour battery. In fact, for India, this is having a 5000 milliamp hour battery. In the international market, it's coming with 4800 milliamp hour battery. But I was surprised to see that though it's having that 5000 milliamp hour battery, it's not heavy, lighter than even the iPhone Air. But here, I thought, yes, to get this, they will compromise on a lot of other aspects. But I was surprised to see that this one also has wireless charging, 15 watt wireless charging that it has. And I thought that the, what do you say, this chases that we have, this will be plastic to reduce the weight or something, but no, that's not the case. This is actually having aluminum casing, aircraft aerograde aluminum that they call. And again, it's a AMOLED screen that you are having on this one, and also the in-display fingerprint scanner. Again, screen is also very big. It's a 6.7 inch screen, so they haven't compromised on a lot of things to make the phone light. And coming to the pricing also, I feel considering what we are getting, the slim phones are pretty expensive. If you recall, the iPhone, of course, iPhone Air, and even the Samsung Edge, they cost so much. Here I feel for the slimness and the weight in hand feel, they did a decent job. If I recall, the regular pricing of this one will be 30,000, but as of now they're in some bank offers, so 1,000 off, so it'll be about 29,000. Another thing that stood out to me on this smartphone was, again, it's having a big screen. Again, that 120 hertz refresh rate is that's pretty common these days. Nothing much to talk about it. So we have that 120 hertz refresh on this one. In fact, I did all my testing on 120 hertz only. But the thing I noticed is that the bezels, if you look at it, the bezels are also very thin, which is generally not a case on many smartphones in this price range. Generally, only the very expensive phones have that thin bezel. For example, to give you an idea, I have a few phones. This is the Pixel 10. This cost about 80,000. And let's look at it side by side. Let's open the same web page. That way we can actually get an idea about it. Okay, and just look at the bezels. Okay, let me lower the brightness. This is actually, this another thing is that the panel is also pretty bright. In outdoor situation, this one goes up to 1600 nits and is easily visible. I would say you don't have to worry about it. So that way, they put a good panel. Again, let me just If you look at the bezels, notice how thin the bezels are on this one, though this is not that super premium expensive smartphone. So significantly less. This is the Pixel 10. I also have the elder brother of this one, that is the Pixel 10 Pro XL. This costs 1,25,000. And let's open up the same page so that you get an idea. Okay, let's just go here. And if you notice, again side by side, let me just lower the brightness. This is also pretty bright. If you notice, notice the bezels. The bezels are still thinner on this, H70, which I simply can't believe. Only when I put it side by side, I appreciated how slim the bezels are. In fact, the bezels are as slim as found on the iPhone Air. And this is what? This cost 1,20,000. And this is supposed to be a super slim phone. Let's open the same web page to get an idea. So again, in terms of the screen, what they have put, they haven't compromised on the screen, which is very, very good in my way. But one thing to note is that if you're buying this phone, there are some things that I would definitely like you to change. Again, the colors are super punchy out of the box on this one. Let's just go to the settings over here. And if I go to display, let me just show it to you. By default, the display will be at smart and balanced. I'm testing this phone for the last 2.5 days. I have kept it on hyper smooth. That's 120 Hz all the time, and it's very smooth with that. But apart from that, one thing I would like you to change is go to the colors. By default, this will be on vivid. And vivid actually pops up the color just too much, in my frank opinion. I work with color calibration and all, and I felt that the radiant is a good compromise between natural and vivid. So I'm liking the radiant color tone, but again, you can adjust the color temperature and all. So the screen quality that they have put on this one is again very, very good. You don't have to worry about it. That was a standout thing, I would say, because generally in this price point they put thicker bezels or do something or the other. Okay, coming to another thing is that this does have that in-display fingerprint scanner, but it is here at the bottom, I would say. Ideally, it should have been in this position, but again, you quickly get adjusted to it. But in terms of accuracy and all these things, again, no issues. Talking about the physical overview, if you look at it on the top, we do also get Dolby Atmos on this one, so stereo speakers are there, and good to see Dolby Atmos is there on this one. In fact, if you go to the settings and all those things, as you can see, Dolby Atmos is actually there, and even if you wear headphones and all those things, you can enable it, and all those things are there on this one. Okay, another thing that I noticed on this smartphone is that the quality of the buttons are also good. No wobble or anything. And I like this aluminum build, not plastic or anything like that. Again, it's a dual SIM nano that you're getting. And this comes in only one variant in India that comes with 8 GB of RAM. Fortunately, it's LPDDR5X RAM and 256 GB of storage. Good thing is that this time storage is also UFS 3.1 on this one. You'll notice one more thing. This is another key that they have given on this smartphone, and this is actually a AI key, and I like it. For example, let's just go to this article and you press this one. I can press and hold it. Again, you can customize it for double press also, and it actually you can get AI assistant from Perplexity and even Copilot. For example, if I just click on Perplexity, I like Perplexity more, I would say. It analyzes whatever is on the screen and gives you suggestions. So again, if you're doing some research work or something, this can be very, very beneficial. And I like the fact that they are giving you the choice of using Perplexity or Copilot. Apart from that, of course, Google Gemini is there. If you press and hold this power button, your Google Gemini and Google Gemini Live is there. This also actually works. I also like the fact that they did not compromise on the durability aspects. Again, this is water resistant IP68, IP69, and even gets that military 810H standard. So again, in durability also they did not compromise on this phone. In terms of UI, it's the typical Moto UI, and if you go to the left, you get the Google pane, and over here you have the apps and all those things. In terms of preloaded apps, there were some preloaded apps, for example, LinkedIn, this PhonePe, Facebook, Instagram, Netflix. I installed it to check if it supports HDR. Good thing is that it does support. Let me just quickly show you, I just opened one of the latest shows and it showed me, let's just go to some of the latest shows. They have HDR, and as you can see, it's showing that HDR 10 plus is supported, and also that spatial audio is there. So that was a good thing. Another thing I tested is that how good is the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi was very good. It has Wi-Fi 6E, no issues. I also tested 5G on this one, and this was with my Geo SIM, and as you can see, if you go to the result, this test was on 5G and we got very, very good speed. So in terms of networking and all those things, that was good. Also, I took some calls. The earpiece was good and clear, no issues with that. Another thing is that if you go over here in the apps section, we also have this news feed. You can click this and this like actually populates. But let's say if you don't want this is very similar to again that Google feed, so I feel sort of a repetition. But if you want to disable it, you can just go over here and from the settings you can actually disable this news feed. So that's actually a nice option, they have given that. But again, if you disable it, that is sort of gone. So typical UI that you are getting, and also while you are setting up the phone, it prompts you to install a lot of apps. So just uncheck that. Hence, a lot of unnecessary apps won't get installed. But these are some of the apps that were pre-installed. In terms of OS upgrades, if I recall, they were promising next 3 years of OS upgrades and next 4 years of security updates with this device. Again, I have to stress the in-hand feel that you are getting with this one. Again, if you haven't used any light phone, always you're using traditional phones that are like over 200 grams, 220 grams. This is actually a delight. So that way they have actually done a good job. And I also like that this one, the back actually gives you that grip. It doesn't slip out of your hand or something like that. Now coming to the battery on this one, this is having a 5000 milliamp hour battery. Again, it's having that silicon carbon battery. That's why they were able to fit in such a big capacity battery in such a slim form factor. Again, it's too early for me to talk about the battery life because it's just been 2.5 days since I've been actually testing this device. But initial impressions, I have to say the battery life is actually pretty good, and even the standby idle drain is good. I would say anywhere in terms of screen on time, 7 to 8.5 hours easily you should be able to get with this one. And for normal user, easily about 1.5 days. Even if you're sort of a heavy user, full 1 day without any issue. Let's go to the battery app. One thing that I did not like is if I go over here, if I go to battery usage, again I just charged it today. I was using it past 2 days without the charge. It does not give us the actual screen on time, so that is one thing that I am missing. But apart from that, the actual battery life that I'm getting is actually very good. And again guys, this was at 120 Hertz. Another thing is that coming to the processor, this is having the new Snapdragon mid-range processor, you could say, the Snapdragon 7 Gen 4 on this one. And this is a good mid-range processor, gives you decent performance, I would say, and actually very good battery life. In terms of Antutu, I would say that is benchmark. If you are curious about it, it'll just get about slightly less than 1 million Antutu max. So decent, I would say. But again, even in gaming, I'm not a hardcore gamer, you guys know that. I did play Call of Duty on this one and it played fine without any issue. In fact, as this is a review unit, in the review unit notes, they said that BGMI is very, very popular in India. BGMI, this smartphone can play at 120 FPS. Also, another thing is that though this is super slim like this, they have managed to put in a vapor chamber on this one. So even when I was gaming and stuff like that, the handset did not get hot. It just gets barely slightly warm at the back. So that's actually a nice thing. Coming to the glass protection, they're using the Corning Gorilla Glass 7i on this one. And again, now let's talk about the camera, because camera is also an important point. And again, if you look at it, you'll see triple cameras over here. I would say the main are the two cameras. The main camera, of course, that's a 50 megapixel, and the second one, that's a combination of ultra wide and macro. This third one is actually a 3-in-1 light sensor, which helps it in getting the color balance light, the white balance right, and also at night time sometimes we have flickering and all those things. This one actually avoids that. And of course, this is the flash. The main camera is actually having optical image stabilization, and the front facing camera also is actually a 50 megapixel. And again, one more thing that I liked in the camera is that again, this is the photo whatever, and again, you can take the photos, and you can also go digitally go to 2x, but again, pinch to zoom is also there up to 20x. But again, even till 6-7x, it does a decent job, I would say. Of course, ultra wide is there, and you can also go to macro. But one thing I liked is that if you go to the video here, Again, of course, it supports 4K video, but 4K 60 FPS is supported. And the good thing is that even if you go to the front-facing camera, 4K 60 FPS is supported, which is such a good thing because I've seen a lot expensive smartphones, though they are fully capable of giving 4K 60 FPS with the front-facing camera, they're restricted to 4K 30 FPS. So nice to see that Motorola didn't do these artificial limitations or something like that. Now let me actually show you some of the camera samples I've taken with this smartphone. Let's start with the rear-facing camera in indoor conditions, and this was artificial lighting. This was actually pretty low lighting, and here this was in a restaurant, very low lighting, but as you can see, it did a good job. This was at 1x and this was at 2x zoom, and also this is a regular shot, but this is macro, and see even macro how much detail you can actually get. This is again regular shot, but because of the macro I could go so close. Again, this is a regular mode, and in portrait we have 3 mode. We have the 35 mm, this is 35, this is actually 24 mm, this is 35, and we also have the 50 mm. So we have 3 zoom levels. Again, this is the 24 mm, this is the 35 mm, and this is the 50 mm in portrait. And this is the ultra wide, this is the main lens 1x, and this is that 2x zoom. This was taken with the 50 megapixel front-facing camera in regular mode, and this is in the portrait mode. And in portrait mode, you can adjust the amount of background blur that you want. Shooting this video with the rear-facing camera, and this is at 4K 30 FPS, 4K 60 can be done, and it says to the ultra-wide. So I switched to the ultra-wide. Now go back to the 1x, and also 2x zoom is allowed. Let's just go back to 1x and let's just walk, and as you can see, I'm walking on slightly uneven grass, but looks like it is employing some sort of stabilization, because at least in the preview it is smooth. But you guys let me know, what do you feel about the video recording? Audio is also being recorded via its internal microphone, and let's climb these stairs to see how good is the stabilization. So I've climbed the stairs and it looks good. And regarding dynamic range, let me just go very bright area and dull area. So this is a quick sample recorded with the rear facing camera. Now I'm recording this video with the front facing camera, and again I've kept it to 4K 30 FPS, though 4K 60 is supported. And there is sun coming, and also I'm just moving between the shadowed areas also to give you an idea how it's handling the lighting and everything. Let me now just go to a shadowed area. So this is sort of a shadowed area, and let me just go back to the sunny area, and I'm just walking around so that you get an idea how will it be for shooting video vlog style. And again, the audio is also being recorded via its internal microphone. Now directly the sun is from that side, so it's just hitting myself. Let's just go against the sun. So sun is here at the back, and at least in the preview it's able to lit my face even in this sort of situation. So this is a quick video sample recorded with the front facing camera. So guys, this is the Motorola Edge70 smartphone. What do you guys feel about the same? I feel Motorola has again did a good job with this Edge70 series, and people who are always looking for that slim phone, which the trend started with the iPhone Air or the Samsung Edge, but those smartphones cost a lot. This was at 1,20,000, I think. So the Samsung Edge was 1,10,000 or something like that. Now they are giving almost 90% of those features on this smartphone. In fact, I like the fact that in terms of features, this is outdoing the iPhone Air, for example. This one just has a single camera. I've talked about it. No stereo speakers, and the battery life is just average on this one. This is a everyday you have to charge this phone, but this, because of that 5,000 milliamp hour battery, can easily last for about 1.5 days. So I would say if you are always looking for what do you say, thin and light smartphone and don't want to spend a bomb on that one, you can certainly have a look at the H70. If I recall, this is sold in India via Flipkart, of course, Motorola India website, and also Reliance Digital. What I'll do is I'll leave the links in the description so that you can check it out. But what do you guys feel about this Motorola H70 smartphone? Do let me know in the comment section below. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.